how to find the best monitor, and what things to consider before making a monitor purchase. Guys, today we're going to look at a monitor from BenQ, the GW2790, which kindly enough BenQ provided me with a sample with, but as always, all opinions are my own. So now guys, this monitor series, the GW series, is marketed as monitors with special eye care features. And let's quickly do an unboxing and have a first look at this BenQ monitor. So what's up with this eye care technology, guys? There are a bunch of functions that BenQ bundled in here to deliver this eye care features. And one feature is, for example, a intelligent brightness sensor that is my understanding not only adjusts the brightness but also the color temperature. Here you see it's an HDMI cable included in the box. DisplayPort cable was not included, but more to that later. I found something interesting. This is the monitor stand. The model that we have is the GW2790. There's also a bigger brother from the GW series where you have a height adjustable stand. You simply clip that into place. That's pretty straightforward and easy. If you were not to use this height adjustable, this normal stand, but you want something better, you could take an external monitor arm, like for example this Arctic here, but for the testing purposes, I'm just using the included stand. I'm clipping this into place like so, and that's it. Guys, this monitor is really lightweight. I'm surprised how small the packaging was. It's really lightweight, so very easy to put together. And yeah, if you don't use the stand, you would use one with the VESA mount. Now that was fairly easy. Let's next walk through the monitor settings and the special features of the BenQ Eye-CareU software, because that monitor should be kinda to your eyes thanks to these features. One thing I like is the on-screen menu that you can on the one hand control directly from your monitor with this button. It's a really easy, convenient to navigate menu. However, this monitor has a special feature that I think a lot of customers were asking for a long time, and I didn't realize BenQ actually has this Eye-CareU software, but I think this software is excellent. So let's quickly do an install. And for that, we're just gonna go to BenQ website and support, and then you enter the model number, and that brings you to the download page. And very nicely, BenQ has included a software both for Windows and for Mac users. I think that's really excellent to have that convenience to control all the features of your monitor directly from software from within your app. So let's quickly finish up this install and look at the features. So you have the blue light protection feature that you can manually set the intensity of, and that basically reduces the blue light content, therefore being more kind to your eye. The best way I can always like this is some of these other monitor models, they had like a paper mode, so the image gets warmer, but you can also pick cinema modes, gaming modes, user-defined modes, all these normal color modes directly from the software, as well as the so-called brightness intelligence mode. There are 3 buttons down there, the BI, the brightness intelligence mode. But it's my understanding it's not only adjusting the brightness, but it can also adjust the color tone based on what the sensor that is built into the monitor detects. You have reminder functions, light reminder functions to take breaks, and you also have a distance function as well. You can control the volume and everything. That's really super terrific, and that's why I rate this BenQ Eye Care software as excellent. On the Windows, it works perfectly with HDMI. However, I noticed when I connect that to my Mac via HDMI, the software did complain and says, oh, if you're using a Mac, please connect it via DisplayPort, which you might need a special cable for, which you can see here, and which I'm also going to link in the description below. That would be a USB-C to DisplayPort cable that you normally, if you have a Mac, plug into your Thunderbolt port. Moving on to the monitor comparison, especially giving you a little bit of an idea of different monitor sizes and the resolutions. I mean, we're all talking about 16:9 aspect ratio, 24 inch, 27 and 32 inch, and you see the respective resolutions. Normally, I would say if you're using a 24-inch monitor, it's 1080p. If you're stepping it up to 27-inch, it's 1080p or 1044p. The WQHD resolution is something I really prefer. And then 32-inch and higher, you have 4K. So that's some considerations. And to make it a little bit more easy for you to understand, I picked another monitor from the BenQ Eye-CareU series, the GW2790 QT, and you can see that's also 27-inch. It's a little bit more pricey, has a slightly reduced hertz, but it has a higher resolution and a bunch of other useful features and connectivity. And one useful feature is also the height adjustable stand. Now, if you would stick with the entry-level models, they often you cannot height adjust them, but you could, for example, take a monitor stand to circumvent that. But what you cannot easily circumvent is, for example, the connectivity. And here the bigger brother of the 2790, for example, has the USB-C port. And USB-C connectivity, in my opinion, please think about that. If you know you don't need that, if you know you are fine with the 1080p resolution, you can stick with the 2790. But for example, people use that for office use. Let's say you have a notebook and that notebook has a USB-C output that also supports DisplayPort over USB-C. Then what a lot of people actually like to do is to just take their notebook, they connect it via a USB-C, and then a USB-C functions as a docking station. You just connect one cable, video signal is transmitted, your notebook is charged, and you can also transmit data. For example, for periphery devices that are connected to the USB-A. So then you don't need to buy extra hub. So that can be very beneficial if you think about that when you're doing a monitor purchase. For people who need that USB-C, stepping it up one model is definitely a consideration. Guys, another consideration, display brightness. Have you thought about display brightness? Now, I always encourage you, look at the brightness of your specific model. In the case, you can do that on a manufacturer's website. In the case of the GW2790, that's a 250 nits monitor. Now, in my room right here, currently 250 nits would be fine. But there are some times in the day, especially in the morning, there's a lot of sunshine, it's a very bright room. Then I found that I personally need 350 nits. Then again, as you can see here, the bigger brother, the USB docking function is featured, but not only has it that, but if you look in details, there's something people sometimes overlook. The other monitor, it has 350 nits of brightness, and that can be significant if you know you have a room with a lot of light coming in. Then the 350 nits is definitely a step up here. So consider your environment. I mean, for a lot of people, the 250 nits should be fine. But again, consider, do you need USB-C? Do you need the height adjustability? If you need height adjustability, do you want that in the monitor itself, or are you gonna get a separate monitor arm? So guys, in conclusion, I really love the BenQ software. That's a really nice software. You could, in theory, even game on the monitor since it's a 100Hz monitor, and it should be especially gentle on your graphics card because it's a lower resolution monitor with 1080p versus you had WQHD or even 4K. That would be much more straining on your graphics card. And as you know, the higher the resolution, the higher the frame rate, the more demanding it gets. Keep in mind all these considerations, the connectivity, the brightness levels and such. But yeah, for the price value, it delivers a really nice price value, that monitor, and has some awesome features with the BenQ software where you can just control every feature from your computer. That's pretty awesome. Guys, let me know, what other monitors do you want to know? Do you have any specific monitor related questions? What do you think? Hit that subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.